Hello everyone. With the latest new tire in LMU, the entire outlap or cold lap phase where the tire needs to get up to temperature changed. And depending on if you can really manage this lap, you can gain on the others and gain a good chunk of positions, or you lose a lot of time and maybe even the car. If you're wondering how to master this important phase of the race, maybe even, this video is exactly for you. Without further ado, let's jump straight right into the action where I will show you how to master the cold tires in LMU. We are here now in the Ferrari 296, one of my favorite cars in LMU, if you want to know. Nobody asked. But the cold tire phase is way harder than in the previous versions of LMU. You have way less grip and it really shows. I will show you now the first few corners on LMU how bad it really is in a positive way, because it's really hard and you really need to master it. So if you look here, for example, first we get a bit of oversteer here, but look how the car is understeering on the entry. And the thing is, even like you really feel the understeer on the entry and the oversteer on the exit, see? Because the tires are not up to temp. And it's really hard to drive quick like that on your outlap. You see there again, oversteer. And what's important for you to understand is that there are essentially two key aspects you need to be aware of when you drive the cold outlaps. Like if we look here now at the tire temp, they're already almost at 50 degrees, so we're getting there. But as long as they are below 40 degrees, it's pretty tough. When they are around 60, you can already, stop worrying too much. But while we're driving here still on LeMans, basically the two critical points you need to worry about on the entry is entry understeer. Why? Because you have not the temperature in the tire doesn't deliver you the peak grip. So if you enter the corner and your front end is too cold, not in the optimal range, you don't have the grip, so the car just understeers over the front axle and you will go wide. On the contrary, if you are in a corner exit and you start to push, you rely more on your rears, and because your rears are cold and not up to temp, you have not enough grip and you start to power slide on the exit. So what do we need to do? When we are in the corner entry, we want to essentially brake slightly earlier than where we would normally do, and also don't hold our peak braking pressure for too long, because we just don't have the grip in the front axle to get still the turning with high braking force. Okay, so your ultimate target essentially is to really brake slightly earlier, initially hard, and then trail off already from the peak slightly earlier, so you really can still get around the corner. When it comes now about corner exits, how can we basically work on this exit oversteer? How can we mitigate that? So how can we reduce it? And I can give you two major key points, right? The first one is overall a bit more driving style related. Try to be a bit more careful with your throttle application and really think about only going onto the throttle aggressively, if at all, when you already can open the steering. And even then it might be not enough, because your steering wheel, actually, let me quickly do that. I can use this my older steering wheel actually as a reference. So guys, when you drive like that, when you are like that at the apex, and you go onto the power, your tire, you basically give your tires two inputs. You basically with your steering, you say, hey, you still need to go around the corner. But when you go then onto the throttle, you tell the car, hey, you essentially want to accelerate. You're done with the corner, right? And those are two inputs which work against each other, right? And when we drive, we always want to be clearly communicating with the car. So what do we want to do then? We want to open the steering, so we tell the car also with the steering that we're done with the corner, and then we can put the power down, right? But now, in addition to that, we have really cold tires, and they punish us a lot. And on the corner exit, where we get the oversteer problem, this can cost us the race, right? maybe you're doing 1 hour 15 race, right? You need to do 1 pit stop, you get new tires, and what happens is you are too eager on your outlap and you lose the car in the first corner because of the too cold tires. So on the exit, it's crucial that you are really, really careful with your throttle. And what you also can do, in addition to that, to improving your throttle control and to be really cautious about it, you can increase the TC slightly. And this helps you to still maybe be more confident and still being a bit, you know, more at the limit of what you can really give the car and throttle wise, you know. So about the exit, really use a bit higher TC for the first lap maybe to really be 100% safe, because you don't want to do unnecessary wheel spins, right, and wear the tire more than you really need to. And on the other hand, just be aware of it and think about it, not to overdrive the tire. Then you'll be fine on the exit. On the entry again, brake earlier, force yourself to trail slightly earlier from your peak pressure so you don't overshoot the corner, and really be aware again of the situation that you have cold tires. If you do that, you'll be fine, trust me. This tips should help you to really master your outlap or your first lap in the race. I hope it's beneficial to you. If you have any other suggestions how you can maybe, you know, capitalize on the others while, you know, this cold tire phase, leave it into the comments. If you have any suggestions also, you can also leave them in the comment section. And other than that, I thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, or even subscribe. It costs nothing and it supports the channel, so I will really be appreciative of it. And other than that, thanks for tuning in, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.